All righty. So thanks for joining today. I know I don't need the mic because I need it because we got people online so they can actually hear me. So today's workshop is going to start as soon as this works. Perfect. So today is about building your own GPT. So I'm hoping for people that actually brought their computers with them, at the end, you're actually going to build your own GPT. So I'm going to show you guys what we do, how we use them. But the idea is that this is interactive. It's supposed to be a workshop. So I'm hoping that everyone can actually, if you have your laptop with you, you can actually build your own GPT today. Okay. So this is the second of the series of one more, and then we're hoping we come back in the fall. So I thought I'd let you know a little bit about me, a little bit different than last time, because people came to last session, they're like, I don't want to tell you the same thing I did last time. So a little bit about more of what I am. So my favorite pizza is food. So if you ever want to invite me for lunch, pizza is a place where we're going to go. My favorite sitcom is Seinfeld. For people that know me, I'm the jokester in the office. I like to have fun, especially with AI. It can be very intimidating. So let's have some fun with it. My favorite band is Metallica. I grew up listening to Metallica and I still love them. I think I've seen them in concert 5 times. My favorite book is Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. I don't know if anyone's read that book, but it's absolutely amazing. I recommend it to everyone. It's awesome. He talks about you have to be an expert in anything, you need to put your 10,000 hours in. That's one of the theories in there. So I've been putting my 10,000 hours into AI as much as possible. My favorite season's fall. I love the summer. I get it. Yes, I want the heat, but September, October is when my jam. And I'm a Superman. My favorite superhero is Superman as well. So, and the last thing, if we're going for coffee, I'm Italian. So espressos and cappuccinos, but I'm told by my mom I can't drink cappuccinos after 11 a.m. So after 11, no more cappuccinos. I have to switch to something else. So, and I've been playing around. I do want to show you guys that there's nothing to do with ChatGPT and GPT, but I've been working with John in the corner, developing my avatar. So because the world needs another Rob, so we're gonna duplicate Rob and we're gonna put him out there, and he's doing some awesome stuff. I can't wait. The holdup is me. I've been on the road last couple of weeks, so that's some really cool things. But I've been playing around with some tools. I don't know if you guys have you guys seen the baby trend that's out there right now? You take your picture, you turn into a baby, and all the podcasters are doing it. Well, I played around with it. So I turned myself into a baby, and this is what I got.
Before I was leading strategy
wait,
and talking AI, I was close.
I think it clicked off the sounds. So just give me 1 second, because you have to hear it. Oh, I don't know why it's not connecting. Let's try it one more time.
Closing snack deals.
It's not. Fail. Let's crank it.
Before I was leading strategy and
Anyway,
talking
you know
AI,
that it works.
I was closing snack deals and building empires, one block at a time. Blazer, check. Boardroom energy, born with it. Baby Boss, the prequel, because greatness starts early.
Then I put it into a program called Hedra, Hedra, and uploaded an audio, and off it went. It was my voice, voiced as a baby. So it's a big trend right now. If you guys are seeing it, podcasters are taking their podcasts and turning themselves into babies and creating these podcasts. It's actually kind of cute, but just the power of what these tools are doing. Like that's really why I wanted to show that. Like when John sent me a sample of the avatar, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like that's like crazy on what you can do with these tools. Okay, so open mind, what we can do and how we're going to be able to use these tools. So one of the things we want to talk about is I think everyone's used ChatGPT in the room. Show of hands, everyone use ChatGPT? Okay. The one downside of ChatGPT is that sometimes it doesn't get who we are. Like you might get a response back and you're like, the tone isn't right. I wouldn't talk like that. I don't use those type of words. That's one of the downsides. You have to really work with the models in order to start getting your personality into them. So you do have to, I've been working with it for a while now, so it's way better than it was, but it's still not 100% there, right? So today we're going to talk about how, why doesn't it know you? What's a better way to kind of train these models? We're going to learn how to build a GPT. Is anyone built a GPT in the room other than Peter and John? You don't count. Anybody else built? No, but you have. Awesome, cool. So that's good. So we got some newbies on building GPT. So what these GPTs will do, they'll understand your tone, who you are. Basically, they become your little mini-me, for lack of a better word, right? Your assistant. And you don't need code. because I don't know how to code. You don't need jargon. You don't need to know any of that sort of stuff. You'll see how easy it is to build these things, okay? And they are really a practical tool for you guys. And then I'm going to leave you with today is a framework that you guys can use. So it's a PDF. You'll get all this stuff too. So we'll share the deck with you, all the takeaway, the steps. You guys get all that stuff at the end. So don't worry about taking notes necessarily on it. So what is a custom GPT? So a custom GPT is really a virtual assistant. It's the best way to explain it from my perspective. So you can build these virtual assistants, and they can be in all different categories. And we'll cover a couple of them today that I think are relevant for business and what you guys would use. And they're basically built within ChatGPT, and they take you through a step-by-step way how to do this. The one downside of GPTs is they got to stay within ChatGPT right now. So there is some workarounds. You can use a link, so you can have on your site the links back. But right now, the downside of these is that they stay within ChatGPT. So if you're looking for something that you want to take external, you can send the link. We'll show you once you build your GPT, you can share it. But it's a little bit different than if you're building something like a chatbot right on your website. But we'll talk about that, okay? You can upload documents. So what you want to do is make sure that you're collecting as many documents as you can to train the GPT. So if it's past writings, if it's brand guides, if it's tone, even transcripts. One thing I learned is that as you're recording, if you're doing videos, you're doing meetings, you can pull your transcript and load it into there because it starts understanding the way you talk to you. Even your image. Someone's like, it's a little tidbit someone gave me, upload your image. So it actually knows who you are, what you look like as well. So just little tidbits like that to understand you as best as possible. You can start talking about your voices. Because for me, I do have a unique sort of style. I'm not a suit and tie guy. I'm not very formal in that way. So I wanted to understand my tone. I want to make these things very like, how do I make it to the level that people can understand? Where I find with ChatGPT, it gives you I don't know, that university answer. And I'm like, well, I just want to write it like a grade 7. Like I need to be at that level. So you need to be able to train that tone. And then you can set your goals as well. I don't know if you guys have put GPT into sort of a role. You can say, act like something, right? Act like a customer service rep, act like a blog writer. So you can put it in, you only have to do it once. You create your GPT into whatever profession or area you want, and that GPT is set for you. Okay, and we'll show you how that works. And then, like I said, no skills needed, no tech skills needed to really do this, okay? So what are some, why businesses, why people in this room should care about, and I'm gonna get rid of all the boring stuff, I get it, and then we'll build the GPTs. But I do want to give some foundation for you guys. So it can solve like real world problems for our businesses. Like, so you can do things like, if you can answer FAQs. So if you're getting a lot of questions that people come to you and ask questions, these GPTs can answer these for you. It can write blogs in your voice. That's again one of the struggles I had with GPT is really getting it to understand my tone, making sure now all my LinkedIn channel is written through GPT. It's all of it. Like, so it knows me well enough now that I make very, very, very little changes. I was at a conference last week that they were talking about, I was in an AI conference, they're talking about using ChatGPT or GPTs to write content. And he owned one of the biggest, a really large ad agency in Canada. And he said that he always hears back, you write in your GPT and then you copy it into Word and you make your tone. And he's like, well, then you're not using GPT right. Because it should match your tone. And if it's not matching your tone, go back and ask it to match your tone. You shouldn't be making a lot of changes or you're not using the tools correctly, which was kind of interesting for me because human in the loop, got to take it in, edit. He's like, well, no, use the tools properly. You don't need to make as many edits, right? So something to take away. Think about that as you're writing it. You can have, I love this, for internal documents, these work great, right? So you can actually build this GPT and load it up with internal documents. So if you're getting questions internally, HR questions or any of that sort of stuff, you can load these documents in there to use it internally as well. We write proposals with it. You can draft proposals, social media posts, product description, whatever. So we'll use these tools internally at our agency to write proposals. So we'll actually have the transcript from a meeting, we load it into the GPT, tell it what we need, and the proposal, it writes the proposal for you. Like it literally does. Like it cuts our proposal writing down to, half hour worth of work rather than sometimes, the salesperson's like, oh, I'll get it to them in a couple of days because I'm busy. Literally half hour, done. Right? So you can start using these for that. And then you can train new hires. If we're onboarding people, these are great. right? You can actually say, go to the GPT, ask it questions. You can embed your sort of tone, your brand, who you are as a company, and we'll show you how that looks like as well. And with GPT, when you're onboarding people, you got to train a person all the time, where you just got to train GPT once, right? You train it, and then it becomes your tool that you can use over and over again. So what's happening behind the scenes in GPT when you're building these? The more you put in, the smarter you get. No different than a human, right? I treat these tools like humans. So the more that we educate or train humans, our staff, the more we're going to know, right? So the same thing. So you can customize these by giving it instructions, and I'll show you all this. We're going to walk this, we'll all come together. You can feed it files, you can give it PDFs, links, you can give it a whole bunch of different files it learns from. And then it also pulls off of the ChatGPT knowledge, right? So if you're worried about, well, I don't have all the answers, it actually pulls off of ChatGPT. So it will pull the knowledge from the actual ChatGPT knowledge as well. So I built one for AI. So if you have AI questions, obviously it's going to be able to pull all the knowledge from ChatGPT when it answers as well, right? And then what it gives you is a tool that answers everything in your tone. And that's the important part for me, is that you're customizing these. You can have multiple ones. You don't have to build one GPT. You can have multiple GPTs that you can be using depending on what you're doing, okay? So what are some real world cases? And then we're going to build one. So one is content. We get asked that a lot. Like, can we use these tools to drive our content generation? So yes, you can. So what you would do is you would want to give it a goal, right? So your goal could be, maybe you want to write blogs. This is an example. Say you want to write blogs. So I find with clients, one thing they never get to is writing blogs. They're always busy. They don't write them, but there's so much value in blogs because there's content, it's searchable. You can repurpose it, you can put it in different areas as well. People don't get to them. Well, this can help you. So you can write a GPT to actually write your blogs for you. So what you want to upload is any past blogs you've written, right? You want to upload emails even, because it gets tone. You can upload your emails because it gets understanding of your tone. If you have a tone guide, you can do that. Sample articles. So I don't know if anyone knows, whoever has LinkedIn, you can go into your profile and download your LinkedIn profile into a PDF. Throw it into ChatGPT, because they'll start, or into your GPT, because they'll start understanding who you are if you've done a good job on your LinkedIn profile. So we hope that you have. And then you can, and I'll give you these, so you don't have to worry about, like I said, taking notes and stuff. But if you want to build a content GPT, I've even given you a prompt that you can use. So you're a copywriter I used it for ourselves, a BD ad agency, but put in whatever you want. This specializes in, obviously we specialize in AI and marketing. Your tone is witty but professional. You use the uploaded blogs to match the style. So that's the prompt I would give it, and I'll show you where to put this. And now every time I go in and use it, it's going to be trained on this and going to give me what I want all the time. Okay, so it's not going to, you don't have to worry about the general knowledge that GPT has on there. The other one is customer support. So this is great for smaller teams. So if you have, like, it can answer common questions, like it can answer questions like on hours and pricing, cancellation policies. So you want to upload your FAQ documents, your pricing sheets, your service sheets. You can put all that into GPT, and now it's become this customer service bot for you that can answer questions. Okay. And then internal knowledge. I love this one. I think this is underutilized. So just the understanding of building one internally in your company is that it becomes your go-to assistant, right, for standard operating practices. So it can help your team find things because someone's asking anything from HR question to policies to everything. You can build it into your bot, and it can answer those questions, or to the GPT, and it can answer those questions too. So this is where you'd want to upload your SOPs, all your training manuals, your HR policies. And if you don't have an HR policy or a training manual, ChatGPT can help you build one too, right? So you can actually have it help you build one and then upload it into there as well. Okay. And so the idea, again, I gave you a prompt. You're an HR assistant to help staff navigate our internal policies, answer clearly, and cite the documents you were given. So I'm giving it very much guardrails as well, as you see, like just use the documents I'm giving you to answer questions. Okay. And we're almost going to start building it. This is where the fun part comes. So I'm going to show you some sample. I don't know if you guys have gone into the GPT store. I'll get out of this presentation shortly and go into ChatGPT and show you guys. So these are just some sample ones. So if you go to the store, there's about 4 or 5 or 6 that I have here. So you can see what people have built. Like this person's built a size space one. So it's basically specifically around his business. There's an AI humanizer one. This is actually one of the leading ones in the GPT store. Will take your content and make it sound less like robotic and more human-like. So this is what that does. There's TurboScribe that will transcribe things for you. There's market research. So if you do tons of research, there's a GPT here that will actually do a bunch of research for you. There's a health and medical one. There's all these different, you can start seeing all the different GPTs out there that you can start using in different topics you can use, okay? So I'm gonna give you a framework. Don't worry about writing this down because we're gonna go in and do this and I'll give this. So the framework that I'm gonna give you guys to actually plan to actually build your GPT is first you gotta know the purpose. Like what do you want it to do? Like what's the job you're given it, right? So you need to understand that first. That's number one, because if not, we're kind of chasing our tails. Number one is who's gonna use it? Is it internal? Is it customer? Is it for yourself, right? You need to know who your audience is. You need to know what tone you want. Right? Friendly, technical, confident, witty. I'm a little bit of a smartass. So whatever it is, whatever you want in there, you need to put that tone. And then the content you're going to upload, right? So spend some time, like I did the last few days as I'm preparing for this. I'm like, oh, I need PDF of this. I need this stuff. So I went and searched for all the content that I needed and just threw it in a folder. And then you got to give it instructions what you wanted to do. Okay, so you'll receive a worksheet. I'm going to give you a worksheet as part of this that will kind of outlines this. You can just answer questions if you're stuck on, I don't know what type of GPT I want to build. You just walk through it and it'll give you a clear answer on what you need to build. Okay. And then once you build it, you got to test it because you got to ask it questions, right? You got to know that, is it answering the questions you want? This is a really important part because you don't want to set it free. And then people are like, well, they got this wrong. They got this wrong. So you need to test it internally, share it and test it. I've given some questions depending what it is. Like you'll get the idea, you know, what is our cancellation policy for new clients? Write a blog post. You're just testing it, right? You're just summarize this, write a polite email to reply to customer asking for a refund. Like depending on the GPT you built, you'll want to be able to test it and ask these questions. Okay. I just recommend start small, build one, test it, play around with it, and then you can move to others. Like you don't have to conquer everything in one day. Okay. And then the last thing I want to talk about before we jump into ChatGPT is you do need a Plus account. You do need a ChatGPT paid account in order to build it. You can access these without a paid account, but you do need a paid account to build it. You'll need documents, right? So if you're going to go build a GPT and you don't have anything to upload, it's kind of going to be useless for you. You need to serve it documents, right? You need to give it information. You need to understand who your tone, audience, and tasks are, but you don't need any coding. Like you can do this without knowing any coding whatsoever. If you want as well, you can go into Canva, Designer, any of these tools to help create branded documents and documents for yourself. They're really easy to do. And maybe that's a September or fall session where we jump into actual tools that you can use to build these things. That would be a good session to do as well. Okay. So let's build one. So this is a step-by-step walkthrough on how we're going to build it. We're going to go, first of all, to the GPT store, I'll call it. So that's the link. I'll go to it in a second. So you just have to go to chat.openai.com/GPTs. Okay. You're going to click on the top button. There's a create button. You literally just click the create button. You enter your GPT name. You got to call it something. And if you don't know what to call it, who can we ask? ChatGPT. It'll give us names. Write a short goal. You need to give it a goal. So you're a virtual assistant that helps customers with AI questions using our company FAQ, whatever it is. It's just an example. You got to set the tone, friendly, professional, casual, whatever. Upload your documents, provide sample questions, and hit create. That's how easy it is to create your GPT. It literally could take minutes for you to have this done, ready to go. Okay, that's the steps that we're going to do. All right, so let's play around. Yeah, for sure.
So a 3-hour visit with chat one morning, and I'm a creative person, I'm a writer, and I found myself like sharing transcripts and things, and then I felt a little sick after because I thought like I could put all of my intellectual property, creative property out in the world, and I felt really vulnerable, and I've been a little nervous to go back and do it again. Can you explain how that works on the back end, like if things can be taken?
Yeah, so I mean, I can't go into ChatGPT and say, I hope I can. I can't go in and say, hey, can you give me Julie's tax returns that she uploaded yesterday to it? Like, it won't share that. But you are training the model when you upload your document. 100%. You're training it. You're training the information. You can turn that off. So you can go into your profile here, because I get asked this question all the time, and you can go into settings and data controls, and it says right here, improve the model for everyone. If you turn that off, it won't. Now, this is what they tell us. I don't work for OpenAI, so will I 100% guarantee that they will? Maybe not, but again, I'm not a lawyer. I say don't put anything in there that you're scared that you don't want to give to someone, like an employee. Like do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you, thanks, Julie. So Julie just asked to make sure I repeat the question. So the question was, if I'm loading stuff into ChatGPT, do I have to be concerned about privacy and sharing? So you can turn it off. So what I'm showing you can turn those off. There's other ways you can do it as well. Like a lot of the big developers are using, because you can use Llama, which is the Meta large language model, and you can actually host it on your computer. You're smart enough to do that. It's above my pay grade right now, but you can host them locally. Like you can host these things locally where they don't leave your four walls, right? So you can use these models as well. So there's some open source models. That's what DeepSeek was and Llama. There's a few of them that are open source that way. I don't like personally, it's everyone's own opinion. I don't want to tell anybody in the room what to share. I mean, I upload our financial records like every month, because I asked ChatGPT to analyze it, come back with what I might have missed, maybe trends I'm not looking at or not seeing. Like I'm okay sharing that information, but you got to be comfortable, but you can turn it off. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when you go to the store, so this is the link I sent you. So if you don't say that you're not in the link and you're like, well, how do I get to it? There's GPTs here. So on the left-hand side, so if you click, it's going to bring you to this store here. So if you're in one of these, like you're just in a regular chat, you just click into here. So this is the GPT store. So what you're looking at, these are GPTs that people would have created. Okay, so when you create your GPT, you can share it publicly. So it actually ends up here. So if John creates one and puts it public, I can use it. I can actually use his GPT. Or you can just have it, but you don't share. It's only for people that have the link as well. So you don't have to share it to everybody. Okay. But these are ones that are actual GPTs. So these, and you'll see they're in categories. So they're writing ones, productivity ones. And again, the benefit of these is they would have created them because they've trained them for themselves, right? They're very niche. Think about ChatGPT is very broad, knowledge of everything, but now the GPTs are very niche to the one thing you're looking for and for your brand, okay? So if you look at any of these, we'll just pick one and show you. There's one I was playing around with earlier. There's an astrology one I thought was kind of funny. So this is an astrology one. So this guy or girl, whoever created this astrology birth chart GPT. So if I hit chat now I'm in the GPT. So I'm actually using this GPT now, and I can start asking it questions. It actually has some questions. What does my birth chart say about me? If I click on it, these are questions to prompt you if you didn't know what to ask. Now it's going to start interacting with it. It's going to say that in order to give an accurate personalized reading, I need to give it my birth date, my birth time. I don't know. Does anyone remember what time they were born? Anyone remember what time they were born? Me neither. The place of birth, so it's asking me these questions. So so these GPTs are now public, okay, that you can use wherever you want, okay? There's a whole bunch of them. I won't click through them. You guys can kind of go play around with them. A lot of the big brands, like a lot of Canva, they'll have theirs as well. So they have one. So if you use like a Canva, you can have the GPT. I can interact with it, then it'll link to Canva automatically for you as well. So if you're using a lot of these tools, you can do that. Okay. But let's build it. We'll see how quick we can build it. So up here, there's two buttons. There's My GPT. So those are any ones that I would have created. I was playing around with one this morning. I'll delete this one. So this is the only one I've created so far. It's the Marketing Edge. I actually went to a workshop months ago and created it at the workshop. You see, it says only me. So it's not public. I didn't make it public because I didn't really train it. And I just was built it. So if I click on it, this is My GPT. It's your AI-powered marketing strategist, helping businesses harness AI. So I trained it to be an AI, answer any question about AI or tool about AI. So that's what that tool, when it went up top, it said My GPTs. That's what mine are. But what we want to do is hit create. So you just hit the create button and it's going to bring you to the screen. Okay. So this screen has two different things you look at. One is create, because you're like, I don't know what to do. the GPT will actually help you create it. So you can say something like make a creative who helps generate visuals for new products, or make software engineer who helps for, like, you can actually type it in here. You're like, well, I don't know what to do. It'll walk you through the prompts. Okay. I don't recommend that, to be honest with you. I recommend the configure, like start building. That's why I gave you the worksheet. I'm going to give you the worksheet. Answer those questions. Really have an understanding of what you want to do before you just start building them. Because I feel like you're not going to be happy if you just let ChatGPT build it for you. Okay. So hit configure. And you guys can follow along if you have a laptop, if you want to build it. I'll give you time to build your own as well, because we have lots of time. So this is the page what we're going to land on. So there's really, I hope you guys can, I know it's hard to see, but so really there's, you're going to start with, you got to name your GPT. Remember, that's the very first thing you got to do. You got to give it a name. So that's a name that's going to be displayed. I played around. So what I did, this is what I recommend, and I'm happy to share this. So I've worked my own spreadsheet, right? And said, okay, what do I want the name? What do I want a description? What are my instructions? So I actually built it in a Word document. So I've thought it all out on a Word document. Now I'm just copy and pasting. Now I'm going to say, great, I'm going to call it the Robbot AI. So I'm just going to call it this is what it's going to be called. So the next thing is asking for a description. So what's a description that, and this is, the public will see this. And I've called it your AI-powered wingman for all things AI, built by Rob Cupello. So that's what the description is. And now I got to give it instructions, right? I got to give ChatGPT instructions on what you want this GPT to do, right? So how does it behave? What should it avoid doing? Like, you're going to give it as much information as possible in this. And again, if you struggle, work it out with GPT or yourself. So I've got these here. So I've built this already. So I'm going to go in here. And if you need more room, just make the screen bigger. So I said, you are Robbot AI, a smart, practical, and approachable AI system trained by Rob Cupello. Your job is to answer questions about artificial intelligence, including tools, use cases, automation, so far. And you speak in business casual tone, remember, with a touch of wit. That's me. You simplify complexity, break things down using real-world examples. So you can also provide step-by-step guidance for things like building a GPT, creating an AI content. So I've given it basically the parameters now. I've said, this is what I want you to do, and this is the tone I want you to be, okay? So once that's done, it's saying conversation starter. So remember when I landed on a GPT, those 4 boxes underneath? Those are like, someone might land and go, well, I don't really know what to ask. You can give a question. You can say, here's some ideas, Rob. Here's some things you can start asking me. So I've created if you don't know, you can leave it blank, or it'll actually start doing its own for you. But I just have them here, so you can just copy and paste. You can take the quotation mark. So that's one. I think I have 4, so I'll just do these 4 real quick for you guys. And if you don't know, like I said, ChatGPT will help you with these, or you could leave them blank. I prefer not to, because it just rounds out sort of your GPT, especially if you're going to let other people use it. If it's for yourself, this isn't as concerning, because you're going to just do it yourself. But if you're actually going to let your staff use it, or you're going to let the public use it, you want to put these in here. Okay, so now I've asked, and that's enough. I don't need any more. I'll save those 4. And you can see on the right, it's starting to build my bot. Right, so there's the Robbot AI, your AI-powered wingman. It's got my questions underneath. So in real time, it's building my GPT. Now I got to train it, right? This is the part most people struggle with. I got to give it documents. I got to tell it, hey, who am I? What do I want? So this is where you would hit upload files. And I have some, I cheated. So I have some already. So I've got a whole bunch of files here that I'm just going to upload. So my profile from LinkedIn. So that's number 1 I uploaded. So I just went into LinkedIn and downloaded it. I'm going to upload my picture. I'm going to upload writing samples. So I've actually written some articles. So I'm like, here's the sample, here's the tone I want you to do. And then a couple PDFs of like AI how-tos, like how to use ChatGPT properly, how to get started in business using AI. So, and you can load up a whole bunch of stuff. Like I'm just showing you 4 or 5 of these, but you can load up a whole bunch of these. And then I'm going to ask the capability. So do you want it to search the web? Do you want it to use Canvas, which is, I don't know if you guys use Canvas in ChatGPT, but what it does is when you're writing, it builds out where you can edit text without having to edit the whole content. So I say yes. You want to use for image generation? I say yes, and you can turn on code interpreter if you're wondering what that is. You just allow the GPT to run code, right? So some people might use it, some note. It doesn't cost you, it doesn't do anything extra to do that. Okay. So and then the create action I never use. It's above my pay grade. You can click on it. It's like it talks about importing like a schema here and stuff. I've never used it. It's above my pay grade. So if you guys are coders in the room and want to play around with it, fly at her. I've never used it. I don't think you need it. The last thing I'm going to need is a picture. Okay, for like this little box here. So right here it says I can upload an image, or I can just ask ChatGPT to. I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to give me an image. So it's going to think about what I've asked it, and it's going to go in and say it should come back with some sort of image. If you don't like it, you can upload your own. So it gave me this, it created me into a bot, whatever. And I don't care. Like for today's purpose, I'm going to say this is great. So on the side, it's built. My GPT is built, right? So what I want to do now, last tip that I'm going to give you guys, if you go to create, it's actually now, as you see, it's changed now. How can I help you build a new? It says now, here's a new profile. So it actually has like, it knows that I've built it. What I would say, one thing that's really valuable here, if you have it, you can upload transcripts here. Like this is a good part for go in here. Like I just have one, like here's a video, a podcast I did on YouTube. You can go in, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you go in, you can actually get the transcript from here. I don't know if you know, at the bottom of the video, it says show transcript. So here's the transcript right here. So I could, if I wanted to, I could like copy all of this in here. It's a long one, so I just wanted to show you the kind of the thought process. Then you can go into here and say, can you use this, transcript to further understand my tone when using this GPT. So I can just say that, and then I could literally paste it in here and hit submit. So it's going to read the transcript and go, okay, this is the way Rob talked, the way he answered questions, the way. It's not great what I showed you because it's two voices. I didn't show you, but I couldn't find more right. So ideally, it's only your voice. So if you're building an avatar, like I don't know, I recorded it sounded like 8 days worth of recordings with John, but taking that transcript and putting it into here would be awesome if you're building your avatar. So this is just, I wanted to show you there's a different, like you can keep training this, right? So now it's actually, I know it's a long transcript. It's probably going to get mad at me that I put in so much information, but they're like, so here's some key tone characteristics adjustments I'll make to the bot. Like, so it actually took my transcript, understood it, and helped train the ChatGPT, the bot that I just created. Okay. So now that if I'm happy with it, it should be. So if I go back to my GPTs, did not save it. We get to do it all over again. Oh, it didn't look like it saved it. Uh-oh, that was my bad. Yeah, we'll do it again. We'll go quick. So that was my bad. So I'll hit Rob GPT. So that's the name. My AI powered. So you want a description. I was going to make millions off this one too. I'll have to do it all over again. So you can build this. And again, I'd recommend you guys do this on, like, do it offline. Like, I just find it easier to kind of just type things up in a Word doc, and that we can think through exactly what you want rather than going in and playing around with the actual thing. Just go in and play around. Like, so the worksheet that I give you guys, if you just answer those questions, it's going to build this for you. Okay. Bear with me. And then I'm hoping anyone, once we're done this, anyone that has a computer with them, you can start doing your own. I'm happy to kind of help walk around and help you guys build it. Oops. All righty. So maybe I have to hit the create button. There we go. That's the step I missed when I backed out. So hit create button. Oh no, wait, one thing. We forgot our picture. Do our picture again. So let's do our picture. Then once you're done, don't do what Rob did and hit backspace. Once it's done with the image, we'll hit the create button here in a second. But you can kind of see, like I said, I like that you can play around with it. Like you can ask it questions here and so forth as well. Once it loads, you can ask it questions. So you can test it if you want. So I think I do have some test questions in here. So how can I use AI to create a month's worth of social media content? It's one of the questions I have. So I could ask it and it will actually start searching. Now it's searching the knowledge base and it's coming back with step-by-step guide. So it's based on the tone and actually be based on what I trained it to do. See how quick it did that, right? Real quick. So, and then if I hit create now, so it's going to ask me for only me, anyone with the link, or I can put it into the GPT store, right? So only me, obviously only I see it. Anyone with the link, I can share it. So I can send it to people to say, hey, use this, or clients or staff, whatever it is. Or you can just put it into the GPT store. So everyone has access to it. I won't get everyone to have access to it. I'm just going to say anyone with the link. So I can do save. Take a second here. And then this is the actual link, right? So this is if I want to share it with people. So this is the link. So I could go into and paste it in here and it should bring, now it brings into the GPT. So this is so if I want to view it though, so there you go. I built my GPT, right? That's how quick, how long did it take us to build that? If Rob wouldn't have messed up, like 10 minutes, right? So now you're going to have to put some work ahead of time in order to do it for sure. You're going to have to go in and develop, your thoughts, your goals, and so forth, and what you want out of it. But that's how quickly you can develop these. And when I go back into GPT and I go to my GPTs, both of them will be here. Well, the other one was there. Well, there you go. So it did save the other one. I was just being anxious, I guess. So it did save them. So that's how quickly it is to build these, right? So if we want to do, I'm going to walk you through one more. I'll just do one more. And then and also if there's questions, please fire away. Like don't wait. You don't have to wait till the end. If you want to see something again, or if you have questions and so forth, I want to be able for you guys to be able to see how this works. So I'm going to build one more just to show you guys. I did have another one that I can start creating. So I had one more that I built. This is an SEO and blog expert GPT. Okay, so let's call it something. Someone's blurred out a name. I didn't come up with a name for it. An SEO and blog expert. Someone yell a name. What do they want to call it? Anyone? Bueller, you win a prize. Whoever says Julie's gonna. Sorry, Bill. We'll call it Bill the GPT. Okay, so we're gonna have a description, which I have here, or my instructions are all here. So I'm gonna put my instructions in here. Conversation starters. And you'll see there's a long one. I kind of did that on purpose. So you can do your conversation starters don't have to be this one sentences, because if you want someone to do, like, for instance, this one here gets really detailed about help me write a LinkedIn post about a certain topic, create a high performing LinkedIn post, start with bold hooks. Like you can be really prescriptive, because if I'm using it for myself, that's what I want. Right? So if I want to be very prescriptive, it doesn't have to be a one sentence one. You can put a lot of details into this, right? If you want as well. And then create your image. And that's how quickly Build the GPT was built. You know what I mean? So now I didn't train this one. I didn't upload documents. Obviously we would, but there's Build the GPT. So if you want to create this, you just hit, obviously, like I said, you just hit create. Let's save it. And you can go back in and train these. So if you're like, well, I got new documents, whatever it may be, you can always go back in here and edit these. But there's build. And then if I'm like, help me write a LinkedIn post. So now it's saying, because I asked it I need to give it a topic. Let's do the power of blogs. Oops. For SEO. Again, not a good one, but I'll give it a topic. And here it goes. Here's a draft LinkedIn post, right? Like, so now, is it perfect? You want to go train it, you want it longer, you don't want, like, I'm not a fan of bullet points. Like, you would tell that, you would train your GPT in order to do that, in order to have the capability in what you do. But that's how quickly, and again, if I go to the GPTs now, if I go to my GPTs, there we go. They're all here, right? So now if I want to edit one, remember I said, like, if I want to go back and edit it because I'm like, oh, I have more documents, or I want to add, I don't like the way it's produced, you just go back in here. I just like, basically I'll show you. So I went to my GPTs, I hit the little edit button, and off I go. I can add more things, I can delete things, I can add different questions, I can, like, so you can easily manipulate these to have these, okay? And when you have that link, remember the link that came up? Now this link, which is basically this URL here, I can share it with anyone. So I can send it to everybody here, and you guys, when you click on it, you don't need a paid version to click on it. You just need a ChatGPT account. Now you can interact with it as well. Very easy to do. So again, the difference about this in general, the general ChatGPT is just that, it's general. It's basically taking everybody's knowledge, taking everybody's tone. Unless you're going to train it, you got to spend a lot of time. And then I even noticed, because I use it for LinkedIn, if you run out of being able to talk to one, then I start a new one. Sometimes it doesn't write the way I asked it to before. Like, I try to train it, it's getting better. GPTs will know you every single time, because it's all within that parameter of what you're doing. Okay. Any questions on those? Yeah.
I just have an observation. So I gave my son my credit card to just right now purchase Plus, but now in his name, it put my name on his piece, like on his, it says it's mine. I guess it doesn't, I just wonder.
The description says.
Yeah, oh, I see, because you opened the account.
Oh,
right.
It knows that someone needs their own, but people might have to be mindful how they pay for it.
Right. That's interesting. I wonder if you can go in, you can probably go in and change that though. There's probably a way to probably go in and change that, but that's a good call out. Yeah, I never knew that. So, I mean, in a company, if you have, because we do, like, we'll have one chat GPT that multiple people will use. Like, you have your own, I have my own, but within an organization, you can have multiple, like a corporate GPT, for lack of a better word. And then the GPTs are actually great, because as they come on, you give them an account. And then, like I said, for onboarding, for training, for all that sort of stuff, these are great for this. I think they're very underutilized internally. That's where I think they're very, very underutilized. And people worry about external all the time, but I'm like, I showed you like, it's easy to go, look, write me a blog post. Like, to me, that there's value in it for sure, but the value of, like, the time savings of, like, onboarding people, being able to answer HR, like, the internal side of it is really powerful, like, really, really powerful, right? So when I feel like even bots, like I said, if we do a session on sort of action AIs, like just creating a chat bot internally into your CRM system, if you have a CRM system that can answer questions for, like, people don't have to come bother you, and it's not bothered, but they are bothered. They're busy, right? People are busy, especially if you're a small company, right? You don't have like, we don't have an HR department, right? In our company, we are the HR department. So, like, just being able to do things like that, I think, are really valuable. Okay. Any other questions? Got a couple more things, and then I'm gonna let you guys do work. So is there any more questions before a couple more slides? Okay. And then, so I want to get you guys to build your own ChatGPT, your own GPT now. So I'm hoping that if people don't have their laptops, maybe even just share, or someone can even use mine if they want. So the idea is that, let's make this practical today. Like, the idea of these workshops is for you guys to actually do stuff that you can use today. So what kind of ChatGPT would be helpful for you? So maybe it's not even your business. I put your business, maybe it's not, it could be just for you personally as well. Is it real estate FAQ bot? Is it staff onboarding bot? Is it social media content writers? Like, there's a whole bunch of ideas that you can use it for. I use, like, so for me, mine are more personal stuff, like helps me write LinkedIn and things. That's where I use it. But think about where you could use it the best practically. What should you call it? What does the GPT do? Does it sound friendly, professional? What kind of personality? Upload samples. Like, really simple. You saw how quickly we built two pretty quickly on that. So what I want you guys to do, I say after today, but we're going to do it today. There is a worksheet on here that we're going to give you. Block off half hour, like, because we're going to play around today. I think we have time. We have about 20 minutes or so today, so we're going to play around building one today. Block half hour, an hour off to actually test it, and then share it, right? And then keep improving these things for you guys. And you'll find there's lots of power in GPTs. Like, I think you'll be surprised at how much you use it once you start using these things. Like, they're going to be the power of understanding your tone much better than regular GPT does. Okay. So some final thoughts before we go. Remember that what they'll let you do, they will save you time if you use these properly. They stay consistent. That's the big thing for me, is there's consistency, and then they'll make AI work for you and not your business. Like, but start simple, and you can kind of grow from there. Okay. So there is a worksheet on here. There's a, if you want to take a snapshot, you can, but we're going to send this all to you guys as well in PDF form, including the presentation. So there is a worksheet that helps you. It's just a 2-pager. It answers some questions. It was built, sorry, I shouldn't have that. It was built in Designer, which is another AI action tool that I love to use. But what I want to do now is, I see most people have laptops, I think, and if not, if you can maybe cozy up beside somebody. I want you guys to build your own GPT. So what I'm going to leave is I'm going to go back a few slides here. I'm going to go back a few slides and leave on this slide. So I'm going to give everyone, I'm just going to wander around, give everyone about 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes to go build your own GPT. I want people to walk out of today with their own, and it could be anything, like even if you just play around and delete it after, that's fine as well. Like, but I just want you guys to go through the process of actually building one. So think about what you wanted to do, the goal you wanted to do, and then let's go and actually build. And I'm here to kind of help you guys. So I'll give you about 10, 15 minutes or so, I think. Yeah, I think we're good if we do 10, 15 minutes, and I can answer some questions and we can wrap up. And we want to get you guys out of here 1 o'clock if more, go to the beach and get us some tan. Yeah, and if there's any questions, put up your hand. I'll come around to help you guys with it, okay? But gonna give you about 10 minutes to go and start building your own one. Hello. Awesome. So you guys are doing great. I've seen some really cool GPTs that are people that have built here. It'd be really neat, Julie. Sorry, if it would be cool if people are comfortable, once you're happy with your GPT, if we share it amongst the group, it'd be really cool if you guys are all comfortable. Like, there's a hiking one over here, which would be really cool and stuff. So if you guys are comfortable sharing some of what you've built, maybe, I don't know if there's a way they can share it with the group here. It'd be really neat actually for us to see what we've done. If there's an easy way of doing it, you're thinking?
We can just get them to email the link and
okay.
put the links into the all into the email.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. Up front. Sorry, right now, you mean? Oh, to see it right now? Well, I think they're still working on their GPT. He's good. He's like, it's good enough. It's good enough. So if you want to see, he actually built a pretty cool one for like trails and camels and stuff like that. If you want to see it, maybe it's easier. Just bring your chair around and come have a look what he did. It's actually kind of cool. So, but it'd be kind of cool to support. For me, it's like, just if we can support, like, even test these things and what people are doing are really cool. If you guys have questions, I said there's a couple people that have questions. That's a QR code from my LinkedIn. So just connect with me. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. So it's really neat. So good job. Like, if you guys have questions as you're building it, reach out. My LinkedIn's right there. I nerd out on this stuff. I'm happy to help out as much as possible. If I don't have the answer, I know where to find it. We can just bug Peter. So if we don't have the answers, we'll get it. Like, so the one thing I've got asked a lot as I was going around is, can you embed these in your website? That's the question I heard a lot. These aren't perfect for your website because you'd have to put the link there, and then the link will take you to the GPT on ChatGPT. So it's not perfect for that sort of stuff, but some of the activity we're talking about around here, I think there's a coding one being built and writing obituaries, right? Like hiking, like those are perfect use cases for these things, right? They're real, or onboarding staff, like that's perfect use cases for this. If you're going to be doing stuff on your website, I'd probably recommend more of a chatbot style, which is a little bit different. I would recommend, I wouldn't use a GPT on your website necessarily. It's not the end of the world, but a chatbot will integrate better into the website. Okay.
You are going to do that.
I don't know. I guess we're going to talk about what the next 3 sessions are going to be. So I think, I mean, I usually get asked, like, people like to see tools, right? That's usually what people like. So I'm happy, but it's good feedback. Like, give us feedback because we're building the fall sessions. Like, reach out, let us know what you guys want to see, right? I mean, that's how we're going to build. We want to make sure there's value for you guys that come to these, right? So hope today you guys got value. My LinkedIn, if you have any questions, reach out, please do, or reach out to the team as well, because they'll help you as well. But I think that's it. If there's any questions, I'm happy to stick around, but hopefully you guys got value from today and you're going to be building a bunch of GPTs. So.